So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's class. My name is Hanny. So, Served Up Sober is a non-for-profit in the US, specifically on the West Coast. And so I take the responsibility really critically, right? Because it's a space for sober folks. And folks who come to our classes are folks who are sometimes in treatment centers, folks who are at home, and it's really cool because it's like folks from like all over the world, you know? And so that also feels really cool to be in space with people that are like everywhere and we're all breathing and moving together and just trying to figure out this thing called life collectively. Our chest is nice and proud here for a moment. Walking our hands forward. There's a lot of unknowns with COVID-19. There's a lot of isolation. We're not able to touch and connect with people in the same way. Some of our coping strategies that we used before are no longer available to us. There's a lot going on. And then on top of that, there's life, you know? And so I think all those things make it challenging for folks to want to stay sober. Fingers are spread nice and wide, melting our heart into the earth. My journey around sobriety started in 2015 when I was doing my master's in women and gender studies at Carleton University. I go to my doctor and talk to my doctor potentially about having a learning disability. Because he had been my doctor for about 20 years, he asked what was going on mental health wise for me. He also, was probing because he had known that there was a family history of substance abuse and specifically alcohol abuse. He himself was a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so it just started this kind of like trajectory of knowing that there was a problem. From that, went to my first women's meeting and have been sober since, and it is about 6 years. I think some things that really helped me in terms of my journey to sobriety was one, getting honest with what was going on. Alcohol had always been a coping strategy. And so I had to ask myself really difficult questions around how my coping strategy was no longer a coping strategy, but something that was actively harming me. Something shitty happens, I have many choices, right? I can call a friend. I can book a therapy appointment. I can journal. I can hop on my mat. Or I can drink. Yoga is part of the options. Walking your dog out. It was 2005 is when I started practicing yoga. So it's been about 16 years now. After about a year of being sober, I decided that I would embark on becoming a yoga teacher. Yoga was a tool and is a tool, a healing justice practice. It's not just about showing up on the mat and practicing the asanas. And sometimes for me, showing up on the mat means that like I may dance before, and like as I'm dancing, I'm moving into like different yoga poses or different yoga shapes. And that at the same time, I'm connecting with my breath. I try to get on my mat at least for like 20 minutes. If it's breathing, if it's movement, all of it is yoga, you know? If it's dancing, all of it is yoga. I'm able to curate a space of safety that really has lots of plants. I love plants. And this is a plant that was actually given to me by my sponsor. It's 40 years old, so I shall try to keep it alive. I will keep it alive. I will keep you alive. Plants have a lot to teach us. Like I said, they have a lot to teach us about the right conditions to thrive. And so really been leaning into how I can create the right conditions to thrive as a human being.
Coming back to center. Exhale, releasing everything out.
Yeah, sobriety is an ongoing journey, and absolutely, I still struggle. I am not a poster child for like, everything is great. Everything is like, there are times where I have hard days and I really have to lean into community. The struggles of life are very much so still there, but I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing to lean into something that is affirming of my life.
Thanks for practicing with me today, everybody. And let's hang out.